Overthinking in my head.
Oh yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to part 2 of the fear value gap. I hope you're doing good. Without further ado, let's begin. So when we were discussing about the last video, we were discussing how to implement the fear value gap. So number one, we first identified that a break of structure is first necessary for the fear value gap to be completed. So as you can see, let's say we're in a down momentum, the first thing we look for is our break of structure, solid stuff. Number two, we check if the order block that broke the structure has no down or up candle, the opposite candle of the momentum away from the order block. So basically what it refers to is, for example, if the last candle before the momentum was, for example, bullish, let me just do the color, was for example bullish, that officially it makes it an up candle order block, as the last candle was bullish and then the momentum was then bearish. So what market makers then look for is market makers officially don't feel the fear value, the imbalance as a fear value gap. They feel it as an imbalance fill coming back into that up candle order block, then dropping. So what we are basically looking for is market to simply give us our break of structure, which is our step one. As you can see, give us our break of structure, give us obviously the order block, but the order block shouldn't be a down or up candle order block, because then market makers won't have any valid reason to come back to that order block. So then we expect, then it drops, creating a bearish high momentum sweep without a down or up candle, without an up candle, as we're talking in this example. So obviously that's check one. Then the other check is you check the candle's velocity or momentum. So you check if the velocity or momentum of the candle is big, and you can see in this instance it's the velocity away was huge, like a news candle. But remember, it doesn't have to, if it's like abnormally like big, like if it's abnormally big, then that is no longer a fair value gap that is necessary to trade. Let's say for example that's your 1, 2, and that's your third candle, that's your 3 candle structure, and you can't consider this to be a fair value gap as it's too large. Market maker will do is they'll come into that area, but they won't use a fair value gap. They have to feel it because it's that abnormal. They have to feel it and feel it as an imbalance fill. So that's what I'm talking about. So basically what I'm referring to when I mean it has to be normal-ish is market, for example, break of structure, then no down candle, then it gives us our proper momentum candle. And as you can see, let's say for example our first candle was there, which was bearish, and then the third one was created. See, that is a solid fair value gap. That's a solid fair value gap structure right there, proper stuff. So then what we wait for, we check if the imbalance hasn't been filled. So for example, if the imbalance hasn't been filled to the point where it's like this, if you see market has officially filled the candle, filling the imbalance that was created here, it wasn't a valid fair value gap. However, it wasn't a simple imbalance fill. So that's very important there. So how do you check for? You check if the imbalance is filled or not. Then you obviously the fair value gap is a 3 candle structure, so don't forget that it's a 3 candle structure. Let's say that's our third candle right there. It's a 3 candle structure. Remember, the first candle and the third candle need to be marked out to indicate the middle candle's imbalance, which is the space between, which the space in between will be the imbalance that needs to be filled. So market will need to fill it, but not as an imbalance fill, as a fair value gap, as a point of interest, creating our structure and then leaving away, which your trade will be there. So that's the difference, guys. That's the difference. Not every fair value gap is an imbalance fill. Some have pending orders that are there. So number 4, you need to identify the liquidity gap that the market maker is trying to fill to form the fair value gap. So what basically this implies to is you need to check the liquidity grabs that market are actually trying to implement while doing this. So for example, they could create some form of structure that will be an interest for people to buy, for example, and they go into that fair value gap. People will be thinking it's a normal consolidation, so they hold their trade, and market takes them out with psychology, and their trades are officially null and void. So that's what that means. Check and identify the liquidity grabs that the market is trying to fill before filling the fair value gap, because the fair value gap will then be like, okay, got you, I'm taking your stop loss. They'll use it as a stop hand mechanism to take their stop losses. So you need to identify these before it happens. Number 6, number 7, number 8, always consider your risk, timing, and your market context. So obviously always consider the risks. So that means your risk management must be clean. 1:3, 1:3, 1:6, 1:9. Always consider your timing. Remember, you can't trade really a fair value gap in the Asian session, otherwise that fair value gap is a trap. Look for it to trade it in the proper situations. For timing wise, look for trade in your New York session, in your distribution session, which is your New York session, or you can trade in your manipulation session, but you have to be careful. That means you have to consider your risk. Do I risk trading a fair value gap, which is do I consider trading a fair value gap in the manipulation phase of the market, which is the London session? Those are the type of things you need to look at. And of course, your market context. You can't just sell a fair value gap in a bullish trend. That is dumb. You need to make sure that it's aligned with your market context. So you need to understand your direction before you can trade it. And number 9, always use your fib retracement to identify your premium and discount zones. So obviously, for example, before you identify your fair value gap, when you identify your fair value gap, you first need to understand, is it in line with my premium or my discount zone? So that's how you use your fib retracement. Then the 50 level will then identify, okay, this is my premium zone and that's my discount zone. Am I trying to sell the fair value gap too cheaply? For example, let's say I find a fair value gap in there. Am I trying to sell it too cheaply? And in this case, I'm in the discount, so it's kind of too cheap. No, I need to try to get it in a discount zone. And let's say, for example, your fair value gap is right there, not in a discount zone, in a premium zone, in the right price, then I drop. So always look for that as well. That could be key, and it could be key to identify and decipher your fair value gaps. Next, so basically this is just how it is. This is just the drawdown of the fair value gap. You'll see the first candle and the first candle, second candle, and the third candle. Very, very important. Then obviously after here we make for market. See, the momentum away is not that abnormal, it's just right. So this is not really an imbalanced field. However, it's an imbalanced field with a point of interest, which being the fair value gap. Same as this one as well. Beautiful stuff there. Just wait for market to then do it one more time. Take out the people who think maybe it's going down there, the order block, come back into the fair value gap and drop. And the same thing, and the same thing, and the same thing. So yeah, guys, that's what basically the fair value gap is as a concept. Yeah, but if you have any more questions, feel free to do your own research to truly understand what is imbalance, what is inefficiencies, and what is the fair value gap. But that is it from the Market Maker SA group. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next one. Thank you.